Okay, welcome to another episode of That Marketing Show. This is episode number 32. My name is Matt Coffey. This episode is brought to you by First Doctor, creating healthcare leaders. Okay, so we're going to talk about back to basics today. SEO has changed. We talked about this last time, but back to basics. Okay. What are back to basics? So the change of the guard here is that SEO is now not about link building and not about sort of authority of a website, although that does have a piece of it. But what we're really talking about is consumer behavior and how the adoption of Google sort of looking at the trending within a website on its time on site, its bounce rate. It's all these little pieces that now are adding up into the user experience and the quality of the user experience, kind of adding in the flavor of why Google now changes its ranking strategy, and all these penguins and pandas and zebras and mosquitoes and hummingbirds, whatever the next thing that Google will do. Well, what you need to do is kind of insulate yourself from this, the dialogues of how things get ranked, and talk more about your business in a way that sort of creates its own authority and value within its network of business customers. Out there's a radar sweeps out, and maybe this is a customer's thought, and even unconsciously maybe they think too, where you're out there and you're visible, your existence is consistently being freshly updated. And so let's talk about the most important thing. In fact, I'll use a different color because I think this is really key. Listen, today CMS, and I'll say WordPress is probably the easiest one. You need a content management system. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but in today's world, if you're going to have a website, if you're going to deliver content consistently to your audience, if you don't have a good content management platform for your website, you're really shooting yourself in the foot right now. Again, this is back to basics. I'm not going to be a technical discussion. It's going to be more of a tactical discussion. But back to basics, really you need to think about how you're distributing your content and how easy it is for Google to pick this stuff up, because really we're talking about a content-driven world from now on, as opposed to an authority level being built by a link structure that in SEO was kind of the way of the world, but this is changing very rapidly. Number two, so fresh content. This is key. There is nothing other. If you could do fresh content every day, you're going to deliver another signal to Google that you're trying to add value to their search algorithm. And this is the key of what we're finding with most of our customers. They need to know that this is really where the market's going. Content with your keywords in it, talking about the business of if you're doing services or you have a product, making sure that you do this on a more consistent level so that Google crawls this content. It sees your site, it says, okay, there's another fresh input from this this client or this website. We can now see how we can put this into our search engine and how it relates to relative rankings. Okay, 3, localized. So what we really want to think about is how are localized results being formed. So if you're searching for a product or service in a local area, region, state, wherever it may be, how are you getting this fresh content to kind of work itself into a localized strategy? And this could be, again, every local area has events, has certain cadences, has certain memes, has certain things that go on. Tie together the local strategy, tie together your localized content into the CMS, and now you're actually doing what Google's really asking you to do, which is give me some fresh results, make it regional based so that I can cater, or I can create the search results for someone who's looking for these topics. So again, keywords with localized strategy is good, but localized content is better. Okay, so let's go to 4, which is don't sell me. All right. Don't sell me. I don't like to be sold. No one likes to be sold. I love to buy, but don't sell me. So make sure when you write this content, everybody writes sales copy, right? We all write sales copy, and hey, this is a great product, you should try it out, blah, blah, blah. But you need to make sure that this content is subtle. It's subtle content that is not over-the-top salesy language, because it's just going to, detract from the environment. Make it value rich. If you can make it value rich, now you're providing not only just a simplistic strategy for your content management system, but you're saying, listen, what am I doing that's adding value to someone who's reading this? Instead of trying to sell them, add value into your content. So think about, from the reader's perspective, not just talking about your product or service, but tying together the localized strategy with a good, subtle message that is value rich. Okay? 6. This is where we need to now go. Google Plus. Okay. So Google Plus is a looming dragon. We hear the footsteps behind us. We know it's coming as sort of the end of where Google is going to go. Facebook took a big bite out of Google's profits as they started their ad strategy, and Twitter's doing the same thing now. Google Plus is kind of coming around the corner to say, okay, listen, we're marrying kind of Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We're all going to jam it into this one platform, and that's going to be our strategy. It makes sense. It is actually it's something that a lot of consumers and a lot of businesses are just now getting involved in, because they're seeing kind of like the value because of the authorship, right, of this, right, tying together, all of this content really makes where, this authorship thing is where Google's really headed towards, which is, they're trying to say, hey, you know what, we really want content, that's our game. This authority business of ranking websites with link building is done. So, okay, prove your authorship, do the good things for your consumer, and you will rank high. So this is where the market is. This is back to basics SEO. It's almost like starting over from square one for a lot of companies, and this is what we're doing with all of our clients. And I hope this helps to help you help your marketing. We'll see you in the next episode.